Hey everybody, it's Golmadex, and welcome back to some more Magic Green, and welcome back to another premiere draft of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Luckily, probably the final premiere draft of Tarkir Dragonstorm for a while. I'm a little tired of the set, as you've probably been able to tell lately after the arena drafts were a flop this time around. We've not had the greatest record in premiere draft either, but let's not complain. Let's get into a draft. Draft, new day, new opportunities to play some cool cards. And I like starting off with a card like Molten Exhale. What I like a lot about this is it's a card that plays excellently in the aggressive Boros decks, but it also works super well in the 4 and 5 color mush piles as great removal later. So it is a really, really flexible card to where in the majority of the decks that I would end up playing in this set, I think we get to run Molten Exhale. Sipsig Appraiser is also very good. We would play it in literally any blue deck, but I think the vast majority of blue decks end up being that kind of 4-color mush pile sort of deck. So I think it's a little bit less flexible than the Molten Exhale for me. For pick number 2, there is a lot of raw power in this pack. Jeskai Shrinekeeper, Karakit Guardian, Glacial Dragonhunt, and Ambling Stormshell are all tremendously powerful cards. It's definitely one of the 4. Dragonhunt, I think, is the most flexible here. We could be Boros Splash Blue for Jeskai aggro and still use this card, whereas it will still be useful for the Teamer late game deck with Karakit Guardian, the Jeskai late game deck with the Jeskai Shrinekeeper. So if I want to go raw flexibility, I take the Dragon Hunt. But if I want to go raw power, Karakit Guardian's probably number 1. These 3 are really, really close, these 3 creatures for raw power. But even the Dragon Hunt, I mean, 2 removal spells off 1 thing. It's quite a lot of raw power, too. It's kind of just insane. Cards are too good there to really know off the top of my head which is strictly the best out of them. They're all close enough. I'm just going to take the Dragon Hunt on that. Pick 3, great removal with Static Snare. Better in more aggressive decks because you know that you can be attacking with a bunch of creatures and reducing the cost. But even in defensive 4 or 5 color decks, you can use this while your opponent's attacking with a bunch of creatures and it'll still end up being pretty cheap. Yep, it's the Snare or the Wildling, and the Snare fits into aggro or 5 color, the Wildling just for 5 color. So take the Snare. And our first 3 picks all being interaction is a super, super flexible way to start off this draft. Pick 4 now, Narset's Rebuke, our first 4 picks being interaction. Also a flexible way to start off this draft. Obzon Monument is the worst monument because Obzon are the worst colors, and you have to have a creature on board to sacrifice this one and get a blocker out of it. The other ones you can all crack at any time to get some tokens. Pick 5, another Molten Exhale, geez. Sunpearl Kieran, great for the more aggressive decks, the little flash flyer there, but Molten Exhale's great in everything. Pick 6. Filler aggro creature and a filler defensive creature. Underfoot Underdogs is a good filler aggro creature, but it's a much more narrow one. It's very good in the decks with multiple copies of cards like War Effort, and very mediocre without anything that cares about going wide, whereas Reigning Victor is just always okay filler. I think I'd rather just be on the Ice Ridge Serpent. I think that's just always solid filler for defensive decks instead of mediocre filler for the aggro decks in this pack. Pick 7. All right, Jeskai Monument. That's our 3 colors right now. Another card that would go well into either deck. This will be better for sure in the later game splashier decks, but still playable if we're Boros at the core, splashing the blue to help with that splash. Salt Road Pack Beast is better the more aggressive you are, the more you're playing to the board, but it is excellent either way. Frontier Bivouac, blue-red fixing no matter what, and green fixing as well if we go 4 color. This is a really wonderful start, honestly. There are plenty of ways to take these cards. Serpent is our most narrow, but still playable in aggressive decks. Yeah. It's just an awesome start. I don't know what to say. Focused Mind's a good combo with Narset's Rebuke. This one much more for the longer late game oriented decks. So this is now our most narrow card. We're just not playing that in anything aggressive. Yeah, I'm never playing Nest Guard. Herd Heirloom, a green mana rock. I don't think I can take that here as the rare out of this pack. Could definitely take a Mystic Monastery. If there was like a Molten Rebuke or something, I would just take that here, but there's only a Caustic Exhale for removal. It's enough off-color, enough speculative to just take the Monastery, I think. Not a very good pack. There is a Herd Heirloom, a Caustic Exhale, and then a pretty big drop-off to where then there's like Resolve and Dragonclaw Strike for mediocre removal, and then it's just fixing. Pretty empty pack. Ooh. Nothing particularly good for 4 or 5 color in this pack. If we took a card for that, it would likely be the Nomad Outpost. Whereas for aggro, there's the Windcrag Siege here, spitting out a 1/1 every single turn to give you a lot of resiliency and longevity against board wipes and just a bunch of removal from your opponent. This one card ends up making, 5 or 6 creatures throughout the game pretty easily. Like the Windcrag Siege a lot there. Sunset Strike Master is a great pick. If we go slower and more defensive, then this is helpful against late game dragons and it ramps up into the big plays. But if we go more aggressive, it's a 2-mana 3/1, and it also helps cast a bunch of stuff to the board early by tapping for mana. So that's a card that's great either way. Molten Exhale again, very, very high pickup. That's great either way. I'm super low on Boltcaster lately. I just find that there's going to be a lot of decks where you're the aggro deck and they're the slower deck, and they're just playing a bunch of cheap removal, not cheap creatures. So this plays like a 3-mana 3/3 with no abilities way too often. And then Dawnbreaker's just not the greatest at 2 or 5 mana. I do like it for the flexibility, but nowhere near how much I like Molten Exhale. Now, Debilitating Current, Dragonstorm Globe, Riverwalk Technique, Caustic Exhale. Nothing incredible here. Looking for more filler creatures if I want to be aggressive. I don't really think I'm going to end up playing Debilitating Current because I have triple Molten Exhale no matter what, and like a Static Snare. I don't think I'll play a Caustic Exhale either. I'll speculate on Dragonstorm Globe. The 2-mana 2/1 haste is just really mediocre filler even if we are aggressive. Rediscover the Way is incredible. Either way. It looks like we're leaning more late game control-y than defense, or than offensive, than aggressive, which is slightly awkward because the Siege wants to be aggressive. I think everything else, though, can work perfectly fine in a slower deck. Okay, Fortress Kinguard plays really well with the Pack Beast, but Forebear also plays really well with, like, Mobilize cards and the like. Evolving Wilds is also decent. Helps splash into a 4th color if we need to. I think our card quality is really high in Jeskai, even if we're a slower deck. I'm going to take the Fortress Kinguard. Now we can take a Dawnbreaker. Now something very filler. Having just like a random filler dragon for all these exhales could be fine. I'll take the Stormbrood. Make those all instant speed while we have that in hand. There's Fleeting Effigy for free flurries all the time. Windscarred Crag for fixing. Evolving Wilds for fixing. I think I have to take that over a second Dawnbreaker. Fire Rim Form that I don't have room for because our non-creature spells are way too good. Pack 3, pick 1. We got a Pack Beast, and then we got good filler like Tiger and Feral. And that's about it for the entire pack, regardless of color. There's not a lot going on outside of the Pack Beast. So we take the Pack Beast. Pack 3, pick 2. There's an excellent 1-drop creature with Descendant of Storms. I do think we've taken enough removal here to pass up on an exhale for Descendant, and now we actually are managing to pivot towards just full-on Boros aggro splash blue. A great aggressive one-drop like Descent into Storms helps that deck a ton to get things started early. Here's another Sunset Strike Master, which will be fantastic either way, but we are aggressive now. Yeah, take Strike Master. Pick 4, another Pack Beast. You love to see it. Going to keep us playing to the board. While drawing cards and making sure we don't run out of gas. Here's another Pack Beast. I like Shock Brigade, but Pack Beast is just the absolute MVP. Pick 6. There's the Furious Forebear with nothing else. Definitely take it. Channel Dragonfire, not bad at all. I do want like 2 more creatures here. If we can find some filler 3 and 4 mana creature, the deck will be perfect. Okay, well, here's a filler 4 mana creature. Let's find a filler 3 mana creature then, shall we? Did not find that. Find Duelist at 2 mana or Tiger for the Flurry at 5. I want more cheap creatures to get these Pack Beasts cost reduced a lot. Okay, well, Kinguard's way better than Devoted Duelist. I could have had that instead and still ended up with 4, 5, 6, 7 2-drops. Yeah, I could have played a Tiger here if I had a Kinguard as well early. Oh god. More Kinguards? Triple Kinguard with 4 Pack Beasts is fantastic, but that just makes the Devoted Duelist over Tiger pick look even worse and worse as we go on. Alright, well, I think that was probably the worst pick of the draft, getting this random Devoted Duelist, because there's no shot I'm playing it now that I have triple Kinguard. But outside of that, this draft has gone excellent. Alright, so we cut a tiny bit of blue and make it completely the splash, so cut the focus on the Serpent. And what's the creature count right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-ish. I might cut the Stormbrood. Actually, probably the Sun Shield before the Stormbrood, right? With triple Molten Exhale, caring about the dragon. We're definitely cutting Dragonstorm Globe. It's not a Dragonstorm Globe deck. Okay, Monument doesn't really count as a creature. 12, 13, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 without counting the Siege and the Monument? Sure. 5 cuts, definitely Dragonstorm Globe. Maybe Rebellious Strike. Could see cutting Glacial Dragon Hunt, honestly. We still have 3 Exhale, a Dragonfire, a Snare, and a Rebuke. And then I just have the 1 Rediscover the Way with pretty consistent fixing for it, because I've also got Jeskai Monument. 1 Island, Jeskai Monument, Monastery, Bivouac, Evolving Wilds. I still have at least 10 untapped lands, right? Yeah, like 12 untapped lands. Yeah, that feels good to me. We can get tap lands out on turn 1 and turn 3 really easily in this deck. We're very low on 1 and 3 mana plays. So it's just turn 2, we really need an untapped land, then turn 4, and then hopefully from that point on. But turn 1, turn 3, great opportunities to get tap lands out of the way and get our blue source ready. I think the blue fixing is good enough that this Dragon Hunt should be consistently castable enough to kind of keep it. Maybe over Dragon Fire? Man. Okay, let's cut Rebellious Strike for sure. Let's probably cut a land as well. Our mana curve is 2. That's the mana curve. 2 more cuts to go. Oh, I still didn't cut our Devoted Duelist, and I do have a million things to do at 2 mana. That's definitely the worst of them. Maybe we have just a high enough quantity of cheap removal to cut Rebuke at 5 as the last removal spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 removal still. It's only 1 more damage than our 3 mana, or than our 2 mana Molten Exhales that we have 3 copies of. And I have 2 Strike Masters to kill dragons. Yeah, we'll cut Rebuke at 5. That seems reasonable to me. We have we have 2 blue cards now that I kept Dragon Hunt in, and then 13 and 12 on red and white, so pretty even on those. I'd like to have like 10 sources of red and white if I'm really lucky with our mana base. I think I am. 8-8 split would still be the standard. For a 16 land 2 color deck that doesn't splash, you get to go 8-8 split. So if we're at least 8 and 8 on our 2 main sources, then the splash is almost free. So we're on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess we're on 8-8 split. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red. Okay, no, we get to be a 9-9 split. Perfect. So better than normal mana for a 2 color deck, and we get to splash in 2 very powerful spells. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 6, 7, 8, 9 white sources, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red. And then blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a Jeskai Monument. And a Jeskai Devotee. Beautiful. Beautiful mana for our little Boros aggro deck with the Jeskai Splash. Super, super viable strategy here, and it looks like one of these stronger builds we've had, at least splashing towards blue instead of splashing towards black. Pretty excited to see how it does. Without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay. Forced Mulligan to start us out. Can't keep a one-lander. You would think Siege is theoretically good with Pack Beasts, but the problem is it's really slow. We get our first creature off the Siege on turn 4, which means the Pack Beast will still cost 5 mana if I haven't drawn another creature by then. Still gonna ditch a land here, though, I think. Since we're on the draw, I have 3 draw steps to hit 1 land off the top. Alright. Hopefully this is the slowest hand we draw today, because this is not what our aggro deck wants to do. Devotee Fashionably Late. I will cast that here against the blue deck, over playing the Siege against open mana with them choosing not to cast anything. A little too likely to be a counterspell for my tastes. Stormbrood the Devotee, sure. They did not have a counterspell last turn, they just insta-passed through us casting the Devotee, so unless they top-decked that, this resolves. And there it is. Third Pack Beast is the draw. Have to draw land to be able to cast one of these, thank goodness. Maybe I should main phase 1 Pack Beast. I think I probably should have main phase 1 to Pack Beast here. Because if they had like a flash creature to show up out of nowhere and block this and eat it, then obviously we couldn't cast the Pack Beast after that. If they play a 1-for-1 removal spell like a Caustic Exile, it's a great deal for me. We're up in card advantage off that. This is the game of card advantage here. 2 more Pack Beasts to draw more cards. Jeskai Monument draws us a card and gives us 2 birds. This looks great. Speaking of card advantage, we can shut off theirs here. Make sure they're not drawing any extra cards. We've got 2 white sources already. We'll get another blue. Just in case I want to cast Dragon Hunt and recast it in the same turn. I guess I have 2 blue sources too. Yeah, actually I didn't consider that. I have a million sources of everything. So I guess 3rd white source is probably better than 3rd blue. For me to want 3 blue, I would have to draw my blue spell, and I just punish myself so hard here, because now I can't crack this and cast both Pack Beasts. Yeah, I would want to draw both my blue spells, and then also flash back to Dragon Hunt, because that's the only way to cast 3 blue spells in 1 turn. Alright, well I guess we play Pack Beast first then and see if the open mana gets me to anything else. Oh my god. Maximum punishment for not picking up the planes over the island. Yeah, I did the math wrong on that mana. Alright, well Pack Beasts are good against the 4/4, so I'll just play another one of those. No! And punished for playing my land for turn early for no reason. That was some bad sequencing that turn. Seed Prowler, so much for getting in with the 4/3s. That's a 5/5. Pack Beast party continues. There's Glacial Dragon Hunt. Double Dragon Hunt the Prowler. How many lands are in their grave? 1. So it's renew 1. They have to do a bunch of renews to Sage of the Fang something up real big. And then I have to chump attack with 1 creature, but everybody else would be getting in. Oh, yeah, I forgot I have to discard spells to do that, so I can't actually do the double shoot here. Because I don't have the non-land cards to discard to that. There we go. I can certainly Static Snare, though. Then I don't even have to worry about the coming back from grave part. Goodbye, 2/2 or 4/3. They're going to kill a 2/2 here and take 1,000,000 damage. They're down to 6. Warden of the Grove, pretty scary once it gets bigger, but I don't think they're going to have time for it to get bigger here. I mean, we have lethal already on the board, and I can play it even safer here with the Dragon Hunt. Clearing out a blocker pre-combat. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponent. Really, really solid stuff from all the Pack Beasts drawing 1,000,000 cards and drawing towards the rare. 1-0, heading into game 2. Alright, here we are on the plate for game number 2. Descendant gets to start beating down. If we top deck an untapped land, I'll probably go ahead and use that and endure immediately. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world. Alright. I can't turn 3 Rediscover the Way even if I play this untapped. Because it's another white source. I need to make sure I play a blue source and a red source these next 2 turns. And even if I play a tap land here, I won't be able to do this turn 3 unless I specifically draw an untapped blue or red. Kind of not doing it either way. Let's go wide against red here. If they play a blocker, I can Dragonfire it. If they play a removal spell this way, I still have a threat on the board. Kishla Skimmer will definitely Dragonfire that. Oh, I forgot I don't have untapped red. We'll Dragonfire that next turn. If they want to trade it into Descendant, that is super fine with me, though. Oh. Alright. Solid, profitable trade there. Well, that explains it. They had a backup. I want to kill that before they remove any cards from their grave, and it's possible they have the 2 mana return a creature from grave to hand thing. So, hold off on the Pack Beast for a turn. That can't be right, though, can it? If I play the Plains and the Pack Beast this turn, I also can't play Rediscover next turn. Yeah, I mean, kill the Skimmer and set up to play Rediscover the next turn. Seems super fine. If I draw another creature, then I could play a creature and the Pack Beast. Still get a double spell in there. Technically, if I draw a 2-mana creature, but you've seen our mana curve. Our mana curve basically is 2. Giant stack of 2s and then a giant stack of Pack Beasts. Alright, we just hit a land, so no additional creature to play here. I think I'd be sadder if they countered Rediscover the Way than if they get countered Pack Beast. Then we do this pre-combat, so if they blow up any 1/1s, I still get the cost reduction here and play a tap land for the turn. Sunset Strike Master. These are in a slightly different order. We get to cast Strike Master, then cast Pack Beast that turn, and that plays really well. I do want to Evolving Wilds to theoretically thin 1 extra land out of my deck at some point, but the dual lands are technically much more valuable fixing than just getting a single color. So I'll do this as soon as I run out of duels, I'll Evolving Wilds. There's the Dragon Hunt for the Pack Beast, but they're still taking 2. Descendant of Storms lives on through its little spirit friends. Consistently getting damage in this game. Jeskai Devotee. Alright. I still couldn't afford counter unless they pay 4. If they have a dragon in hand, which is likely in a Dragonstorm deck. They're heavy into blue. Yeah, I'm still in a fine position to play to the board here. So let's play to the board. And not have to worry about counter unless we pay 4 when we cast Rediscover the Way. Definitely another red source with Evolving Wilds. That's probably where I've lost a lot of equity within these games. Again, like any other format, I certainly make a good deal of misplays. I think some of the most punishing misplays that we have made are really easy to miss, which is just like mana fixing, because the mana is so important in this format, like Evolving Wildsing for the wrong land or monumenting for the wrong land and stuff like we did last game can end up stacking up into that extra 1 or 2 points of damage you lose by in the end game because your tempo is so off without like triple spelling Pack Beasts like we did that one turn. Another Laseed Prowler deck. Chunky blocker from our opponent. It is like threateningly chunky against our deck. Because none of our Molten Rebukes can kill it. But that's the one removal spell that can. Let's go. If we get Snakeskin Veiled, we get Veiled hard. But we did not get Snakeskin Veiled. So they're down to 6. Unending Whisper, draw a card. Teamer Devotee. Knockout Maneuver to clear out the Strike Master. Dragon Hunt does not kill that. Molten Exhale does. If I exhale it 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, exhale kills them. Yeah, I've got exactly the mana for that. They have some kind of instant here, so maybe they're not dead. I'm going to do this pre-combat to get the Flurry +1/+1 on Devotee. Oh, it's 7 mana. Okay, I can still kill them off of the Flurry, but I have to Harmonize. Do exactly 4 damage, thanks to the Flurry trigger. Okay. I don't know what was in their hand there. Maybe they were full control mode or something. That is 2-0 now, heading to game 3. Here we are on the play for game number 3. The lack of red mana is very concerning, but Kinguard into the Pack Beast is very good off of any land draw we can get there. Oh shoot, 2 land draws. I'm bad at math. Undergrowth Leopard. There you go, now we've got the Pack Beast mana. Thank you, Forebear. Playing against Golgari here. Just the full-on Golgari aggro +1/+1 counter deck. Interesting. Pack Beast before the land in case I hit a mountain for Dragonfire. We did not hit a mountain for Dragonfire, but we are going to have a 1-mana Pack Beast next turn. It's going to be sick. Yep, pure Golgari from our opponent. Very interested in a 1-mana Pack Beast here. The widest of wide boards, we... Mountain? No! Alright, well that was still pretty good. The pack don't stop. There we go. Mystic Monastery. Not as good as Mountain, because we don't get to kill the leopard here, but still good. Exhale one of the 3 pack beasts. That's 2-for-1 in our favor, so I'll take it. 4-bear into the leopard could end up being a 2-for-1 in our favor if we ever bring this back from grave, but we're not likely to do that anytime soon. There's Abzan Devotee, so they can work on a 2-for-1 in their favor eventually. I am perfectly happy to shoot that. Get pushing damage in here. I think I probably should have just buffed a 1/1 token and had them block that. Got another good chunk of damage in for doing that. Yeah, sack a 1/1 deal 7 is so worth it. That was not a good attack. They don't make me ult an exile, I'll just Sky Monument, but if they don't block with Vanguard, I will exhale it while they're tapped out. Which means I pick up the 4-bear here since I can't get the Monument tokens this turn anyway. Revival of the Ancestors, that's one of their best ways to potentially stabilize here. I think we're just getting a bunch of flyers. If they survive long enough to get the trample lifelink, that's where they really have a shot to stabilize. But that's so unlikely. They're at 3 already, which puts them to 1 with Channel Dragonfire. And here's lethal flying damage. Felithar, cool card. Not enough on board. Yep, there's the concession from our opponent. We're 3-0 heading to game 4. Here we are on the play for game 4. Feels good to be on the play, and this is perfect mana here to get that siege out turn 3. This is a really good start. We get to curve into it as well with the Devotee starting on 2. Okay, Jeskai Monument's not super relevant immediately, but it'll be pretty nice turn 4 if we don't just Pack Beast. Probably just gonna Pack Beast. Yeah, this will be good later, but not doing much right now. Jeskai Mirror Match. We'll see if they are also aggressive or if they are like 4 or 5 colors splashing around for big late game. We've also played like a Jeskai Dragon Control deck. It was mainly just blue-white Dragon Control, but that's technically another place they could be. Those are just the two most likely. Red-white at the focus, pretty aggressive, or splashing into a bunch of colors. And these are just the first 3 we've seen. Very important to click the correct half of the siege. So I really didn't want to accidentally pick the one that doesn't do anything. In this deck, we don't have a single card that has a trigger whenever it attacks. High Spire Bellringer. Okay. That card is kind of large in terms of a blocker. Yeah, that's pretty relevant this game. I think I'm supposed to actually Molten Exhale that due to just its size here. And killing it now makes it so they don't get the cost reduction next turn and get to double spell as easily. Winter Night Stories. Draw 3, discard 1 creature. So just setting up for later right now. Crafting the perfect hand to stabilize in the late game. They don't even have much to stabilize from right now. They're facing 2 1/1s next turn. But we'll be casting out quite a board from that. Discard Devoted Duelist makes a lot of sense. I don't like that card either. I would discard him. So I can Kin Guard and Pack Beast this turn, so let's do that. We'll play around the 1/2 flash that would eat one of these by doing this pre-combat. So even if they do flash it in and eat one of these, I still have a cheap enough Pack Beast to play this turn. Cool. I've got the mana now to be able to get the flying birds and shoot somebody with a Dragonfire next turn. If I draw another land, then I could Dragon Hunt and get the birds. Although that would be much less likely. I'd have to draw specifically another blue source, and all of the other blue sources in my deck are actually tap lands. So yeah, we won't be able to Dragon Hunt and get the birds, but certainly we'll be able to Dragonfire and do it. Okay, they're done. They give up. I'll take the free wins. I can use them. I gotta get some gems back in this account. I gotta get that win rate back up. And the drafts haven't been super bad the last couple. I've been a little bummed out because I thought the decks were really cool, but we did go like 4-3 the last couple drafts. That's not that bad. But it's been a lot of 2-3 to 4-3 drafts ever since the Arena Directs. So see if we can't finally break that really mediocre average draft streak here and get back into the money today. We are 4-0, only 1 win away from being up in gems on this draft. Here we are for Game 5 on the play. Wow, we've just been on the play every single time. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. We might have been on the draw once. But a vast majority of the time we've been on the play today. It's been incredible. Mardu Devotee, turn 1 from our opponent. No longer do I feel on the play because they've got a 1-drop. No, I still feel like I'm on the play. Okay, well, Strike Master sucks against that unless we Dragon Hunt it away, so we're going to have to Dragon Hunt it away, likely. What I can do here is if they don't immediately blow up the Strike Master, I can double spell Dragon Hunt plus Kin Guard next turn. Hopefully drawing some mediocre spell to discard to the Dragon Hunt, that'd be ideal. Oh, now they've got a 4-bear too? Shoot. Well, so much for that. So now I don't attack in even with clearing out, so let's jump into the sky and get this Storm Brood down. I guess I should have expected. They're Boros over there, they're Mardu, so they're going to play a million cheap creatures as well. Kin Guard's pretty nice at blocking the 4-bear, but I'm trying to get attacking right now. So the 4-bear's still a bummer in that sense. They definitely have some sort of combat trick to play around here. Could be they're just the 3-mana 3/3 that deals 5 if you've already been dealt damage. There's Thunder of Unity, which can be absolutely terrifying if they have some mobilized cards, some token producers and stuff. Let's double spell to just get a million Stormbrood damage out here. I might just draw the card here. Depends on what it is. So if it's just a plains, I think I'm just drawing the card. I don't think I'm discarding a Kinguard to kill Devotee. I mean, it gets rid of their black source, but they just drew 2 more cards towards more black mana. Doubt it's that valuable for them here. Kinguard is a really good blocker against the forebear. Yeah, I'm not discarding their card. Boom. Down to 12. Dragon Hunt only shoots if you discard a non-land card, so there's literally no reason to discard the plains. The option is discard Kinguard or don't. Okay. Leave all their mana untapped. They probably have their own Static Snare then. Even if I attack with only the Stormbrood, they can Static Snare it, and that'll be sad. So I can't do anything about that. But I could hold up my own Static Snare when I go to combat. And then Static Snare if they have some weird flash blocker or something. Yeah, this is just attack all, holding up the snare. But I'm pretty sure what they're going to do is just Static Snare my Stormbrood. Or like Molten Rebuke if they have a dragon in their hand to reveal. Oh, it's Frontline Rush. It is flash blockers. Okay, that is very good. Stormbrood still gets in though. Static Snaring now is better than doing it later. Because we get the extra damage from Stormbrood. But I don't know if I'm saving Strike Master or just deleting their forebear. I think I'm just deleting their forebear. Because they still have another 1/1 to keep Strike Master from doing anything on attacks regardless. Aw, dang, they had the rally too. That was a very good turn for our opponent. Alright, well, now the card draw from the Thunder of Unity has put them ahead. We are out of plays here. They've still got 4 cards in hand. To see what it is. Shocking Sharpshooter? Well, that's getting killed with Dragon Hunt for sure. That can kill me really fast with a little bit of token production. I have to draw any non-land spell. Come on, any non-land spell in the deck, please. Yeah, Sharpshooter plus Skyrider, those are both really threatening. They only have 1 token on board right now, but if they get more later, the Skyrider putting one in the sky is brutal. I don't think I have time to not do this. Just do it blind, and here's the 2 options, right? I do this blind, I hit a non-land card, I discard it and kill a Sharpshooter or a Skyrider to stop their damage here. Or I do this blind, I draw another land. That means if I didn't do this blind, I would sit here and do nothing this turn, draw a land, sit here and do nothing next turn also. So either way, I think I need to play this, whether there's a land on top or there isn't a land on top. Okay, there is a non-land on top, so I get to shoot here. Definitely better than playing just a 2/2 right now. So Skyrider is currently a guaranteed 2 damage per turn, whereas Sharpshooter, less consistent. Like if they play 2 creatures in 1 turn, yeah, that's another 2. I think I need to kill Skyrider. It's actually 3 damage per turn. I do really need to kill Skyrider, because it jumps another creature into the sky too. Pack Beasts? So I'm dead whichever one I kill. If I kill the Skyrider, then the Pack Beast is sending 3 1/1s in the sky every turn. And if I kill the Sharpshooter... Okay, if I kill a Sharpshooter, then the Skyrider's sending these all in the sky. If I kill a Skyrider, then the Sharpshooter's pinging me for 3 every turn. Gross. Come on. Top deck. We still have some really big spells that could turn this game around. I mean, a single Molten Rebuke gives us a lot of time. But especially some of the really good cards like the Draw Spell Saga out of Jeskai. They also draw a Combat Trick. Yep. I'm really gonna need you to stop drawing gas, please. I need my own gas. Give me the stinky. That is not gas in the slightest. I do gotta say, big thanks to Windcrag Siege here. If it weren't for that, we would already be dead. But I'm dead to any burn spell now. And I have to lose some 1/1s for nothing at this point. I can't go to 1 or they kill me off of literally a single creature. Okay. Oh, don't you do it. Don't you have 2 creatures in hand still? Okay. Pack Beast is such a draw. Plains is not. If I don't chump attack, I'm dead to a single creature off the top. So we chump attack. Oh, come on. Alright. 4-1. Heading into game number 6. Alright, game number 6. Here we go. We're 4-1 right now. 1 win away still from in the money for the draft. Solid hand here. No turn 3 play, so we are hoping this Bloodfell Caves means that they are Mardu aggro and they go Plains, great 2-drop, and I exhale it. Alright. It's gonna be rough enough to fight through the lifelink. Let's just get that out of the way for now. Force them to spend some more mana to put lifelink on their next creature. Plus this gives me a spell this turn so that I can curve out, most importantly. Just gonna play 2 big dragons in a row. Just go for it. This guy just buffs off dragons too, right? Yeah, non-creature or dragon spell, let's go. You can butcher me all you want. I think I can outrace you with multiple non-creature spells to trigger the Stormbrood in upcoming turns and 5 damage on board even without triggering it. All in the sky here. They don't show us some efficient removal. We can put them to almost dead next turn because I can Dragonfire their face and Static Snare. Okay, so they have lifelink the Butcher. That'll make it much harder to lethal this turn. But we can Static Snare the Butcher now. That's a massive Lightning Rod for our removal. So they're at 18. Yeah, there's no way we're doing 18 damage. Yeah, that monkey has been pretty bad for us. Even if I never traded for it, and they would just hit me for 6 by now. Ew. Coordinated maneuver, the big dragon. A wee bit of flood for us. Probably not supposed to Dragonfire here, just for a tiny bit of extra damage. That's probably just Static Snare. I could Dragonfire and finish off the Practitioner if I chump attack initially. I think that's fine. Worst case scenario, they don't block, and it's not like these are blocking later anyway against their current board. Alright, cool. Hit for 5. A little sad this isn't an instance, so I don't get to buff the Stormbrood again, but I do get the Practitioner out of the way. Thin out the deck, get a Mountain out of there, and pass the turn. Storm Plane Detainment. Get them to 12. I have a single 3/1 now for the threat. Our opponent has finally hit their 5th land, which means all 4 spells in their hand, all 4 cards in their hand are spells. I think we could have assumed all 4 spells in their hand are cards. That part's more obvious. No, man, no. Strike Master for Stormslinger is a really good trade for me. Because that thing was going to be gaining them life throughout this game and making it impossible to get anything done. Ooh, and we got a pre-Siegebreaker? Siegebreaker on the Stormslinger would have been completely unbeatable, but now if I can draw just one more of my Rebukes, which I have 3 of, we kill this before it has dealt 5 million damage to me like it would have otherwise. Come on, I got one more turn to draw anything. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna lose to a Storm Beacon Blade. No, the Storm Beacon Blade has nothing to do with the loss, but it does make it more embarrassing. Yeah, that's dead. I got the Sharpshooter to go with this Avenger too. It's all spells all day over there. Fashionably late Rebuke, we're dead. If I shoot the Siegebreaker, the Avenger gives them 3 mobilized creatures and Sharpshooter kills us off that. If I shoot the Avenger, then they make me trump Siegebreaker 2 more turns in a row and I'm not winning from there. Our only option is to shoot the Avenger. But I think this game was mostly just the spell to land ratio being too far in our opponent's favor off these draws. Yeah, still just even more spells here. It's the last card as well too? My god. Stop drawing spells after the 5th land. That is perfect kind of draws. Alright, well that's lethal this turn then. 4 and 2 heading into game 7. I'm double checking the mana base in between games because there's multiple games we flooded out now. And we are on 16 lands, so I was just double checking to make sure that. We could go extra bold and go down to 15, but 16 is fair here. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. Okay, here we are on the play for game number 7. Again, I think we've been on the play literally like 90% of the games today, which has been pretty wild. This is a great opening hand if we draw a land. To the point where it may be worth monumenting turn 2, but probably not. Over Strike Master, because Strike Master, if they don't kill it, can also just play the Siege turn 3, even if I don't draw land. And then if I naturally do draw the land, I get to hit them for 3 instead, while still playing the Siege. Okay, well I can't hit them through the Wayfarer. Did not naturally draw the land, so siege it up and pass. Could have gone Jeskai Monument King Guard. That would have been a fine turn as well, but the earlier you get the siege down, the more 1/1s you get out of it. Negotiations. Well, there goes Jeskai Monument, probably. Jeskai Monument or one of the Pack Beasts are the only picks that make sense. Those are both reasonable cards to take. They're both 2-for-1s. I need lands pretty badly right now, so it's probably Monument, but Pack Beasts will also be really, really cheap to cast in the near future, so those could also be viable options. They pick a Pack Beast, fair enough. Okay, there's Evolving Wilds. I can't play in a way where I can cast Pack Beast here, because I can't get an untapped white source and play another creature. So let's just get another white source from Monument, get the blue off of Evolving Wilds. And get the Pack Beast to as cheap as possible. Warden of the Grove. Well, we have 6 removal spells, so let's see if we can draw one. Wait, no, we have 5. 3 Rebuke, Static Snare, and Glacial Dragonfire. Well, we drew none of the 5 anyway, but I could still draw one off Pack Beast potentially. So we go for that over Storm Brood. I do have 6. One of them is 2 damage though, so that one doesn't work. We did hit the exhale, perfectly timed. Yeah, love to see that. Love to see that. There's the blue for Jeskai Monument. Technically also for Chilling Screech, but I doubt we're doing that instead of casting the Storm Brood itself. That was a beautiful, beautiful draw off of the Pack Beast. If it were not for that draw, we would be having a much harder time this game. Whatever creature they play this turn would come with another 1/1 blocker. Oh, alright, well, we're still having a hard time. They just have the Lion wait to pick up the Warden. Luckily, they're stuck on mana, so they don't get to immediately recast it or anything. I'm in a solid position to just go wide here. They kill a 1/2, but take the rest of the damage. That feels worth it, honestly. Yeah, they're down to 8. That's definitely worth it. Play the Storm Brood because it threatens the most immediate damage next turn, and they're at 8 life, so I'm going to threaten that damage fast, and they missed another land drop, and they're over it, so that is 5-2. We finally broke the curse that was placed upon us during the Arena Direct. Although I did get a 5-win run in the Arena Direct one time. But we've broken the ceiling of the 4-win runs lately being the best we can do. Finally, we're in the money again on this draft at 5-2 at worst. I'll take that. This is a very solid Jeskai deck. I would expect it to be around the 5-3, 6-3 range on average. A bad run gets a 3-3 or a 4-3. A great run gets a 7 winner. And we'll see if this will be an average run like it is right now for a deck like this, or if it'll be a great run for a deck like this. Maybe we can fight our way towards that 7-win run. Let's see. We're finally on the draw again. Really excellent opening hand, starting off with Descendant of Storms. The opening hand is too good at curving out. Like, it's so good at curving out that I don't really get to activate this Descendant ever. So I'm just going to trade it up into the Devotee and ruin their mana if they do that. Very profitable trade to me. For 1 mana, I got to kill their 2 mana card and keep them off the mana fixing, if they have any. I'll play the Strike Master here. And next turn is probably Monument plus Dragonfire. Oh yeah, Dragonfire and the Leopard. Wow, I'm really surprised they took that Devotee trade when they have 3 mountains in the hand. That feels really profitable to me. I guess I can just beat in for 3. Since I naturally drew my land for turn, I don't have to monument right now. Four mountains? There's Shock Brigade. Could play a Fleeting Effigy and still play Pack Beast this turn. It's not like Effigy really attacks in at all, though. I can't play Monument in Pack Beast. I guess if I go Effigy Pack Beast, one of my creatures sits for 2 instead of nobody touching them. This is 2 extra damage to do it this way. If the plan is to just play the Pack Beast anyway, which I think it is there. Yeah, I feel like they're getting pretty massively punished for trading off their Devotee early. What is the play here? Do we have anything that flurries well? Yeah, I can just Molten Exhale. Monument for the blue because I have Rediscover the Way in hand, and then exhale the 1 blocker. And should be really hard for them to recover from that. Six life now. Oh. That's really gross. Okay, Narset's Rebuke helps them a lot. That fixes their mana to play one of the cards that's stranded in their hand. Yeah, the Dawnbreaker here. But man, to trade off your Devotee and then draw like 3 more mountains, just red sources exclusively, that's a big bummer. I can't lethal, but I put them to 2, and then they're dead to Channel Dragonfire later. That feels worth it. No arena. We play like that. And I couldn't lethal because I couldn't Dragonfire without tapping stuff. Without tapping both my creatures, I think. River Wheel Sweep is not good enough here because they're tapped out of anything else, and the 2/2 kills them. And that's game. Alright. Yeah, MVP of the game was our 1 mana 2/1. The fact that it traded into the Devotee was just phenomenal for us because they just got stuck on red from there with multiple Jeskai spells in hand. That is 6 and 2, very far in the money on the draft no matter what. Feels very good to be here, but we'll see if we can't wrap it up with a trophy run for our final Tarkir Dragonstorm draft for a while. This hand could definitely flood out, but it has both of our most important colors. A great early play, great later game play, and solid interaction for whatever our opponent's doing. The Kin Guard makes the Pack Beast even easier to cast. There's their own Kin Guard. Mystic Monastery's the draw. Just play Kin Guard here. I'm probably still supposed to play Strike Master, because then I do have the opportunity to play Kin Guard plus Molten Exile in the same turn next turn if I need to. But I like that I have a 1/2 here, so I get to stop a damage for free for this turn. Unless they make that a 3/2, I don't think I would need to... Yeah, I wouldn't want Molten Exile that anyway with the 1/1 token around. So that played out fine. We got to stop their Kin Guard from attacking in that way, whereas if I just played the Strike Master first, we would have taken 2 extra damage that turn, which was what I was thinking of when I chose not to play Strike Master there. So it ended up working out for us. It might have still been the wrong play, right? Because if we... Oh, Jesus. If they did play something we needed to exhale, then we couldn't. Well, I mean, I need to exhale the Marshal of the Lost now. So I can definitely do that. It's getting a little floody in here. Not devastatingly so yet, but it's not good. Yeah, I mean, 7 lands is already more than we need to draw in an entire game of Magic with this deck. So I guess it actually is quite bad. I will not understate it. Stormplane Attainment on the Pack Beast. If I had any enchantment removal, that'd be awesome. Let's get to draw another card when they give us our thing back. Oh, they only combat trick one of these two. No combat trick? Profitable trades. We take those. I am not dragon firing a 1-2. Just block it with my own 1-2. I'm at 11 here and they're at 26. I'm not trading 1 damage for 1 damage. I'm just gonna hold this off to keep that 1 damage off me. Ooh, they flooding? They flooding over there? They have 7 lands of their own. Well, they have 6 on board. I assume a 7th in hand if they're not casting anything there. Can they have some instant speed removal? 1 or 2. Well, there's 8th land for us. I guess I am dragon firing a 1-2 after all. I lied. Holding off the 3/1s is just a big deal. If they have the make 2 1/1s card, that sucks for me here, but we don't really have any way to play around it. They're at 26 life. If they don't have that exact card, choosing to hit for 1 damage instead of 7 damage is awful. And that is one specific uncommon in the set. It's more likely they have one of the several common instant speed removal spells, like Dragon Spray or Caustic Exhale, where this is the much better line. Yeah, Overwhelming Surge. An uncommon removal spell, but same difference. One of the many instant speed removal spells. Another Stormplane Attainment, that's fine. We jammed 5 in here. Is their last card had a dragon then, if they chose to detain our dragon killer instead of our pack beast? They're not as flooded as I would say. They have 6 lands total right now. Maximum 7. 7th in hand. I guess after this draws. Excuse me, after this draw step, it's possible they have 8 total. They would have to just be staring at land in hand, though, for this long. If that's the case, so I doubt that that is what it is. Yeah, there's a big old Death Gorger. They did have a dragon. Gross. It exiles our Dragonfire too. It's good value. Land 11, baby. Drop it and pass. Oh, no, that's number 10. I miscounted. Attack? Uh-oh. So they drew something to blow up Pack Beast. Well, they are still at 17 and we're at 9. Yeah, that is not good. They do outrace us barely here. Oh, this is the final boss right now. We're 6 and 2, are we not? Man, would be a sad way to end it. Okay. We might still be in this off the lifelink from Windcrag Siege. That does win the race. If they miss on their draw here. That is the 1 point of extra life that I need to not die in exactly 2 hits from this Death Gorger. Devotee is fine, I can exhale it. It's only if they double spell us here that we're losing now. And that is a single spell. Oh, Dragon Hunt is the draw as well. if they can kill our lifelinker, if their last card in hand can kill our lifelinker, then I have to exhale Dragon Hunt the Death Gorger, but that doesn't work unless I draw another non-land card here. So I guess I just Dragon Hunt right now and see what I draw. If I hit a non-land spell, I'll hit the flyer. Yeah. That is safer, in case they have their own removal to kill the lifelinker. Is kill the flyer and attack with Pack Beast. Yeah. Okay, we do that. We do it the safe way here. I could Dragon Hunt again. And then see. If I hit another non-land, then it's just beautiful. Okay. That's fine. Boop. Put them to dead in one swing. Oh. Don't you dare double removal me with one that gives you hasters as well. Okay. Well, that was still an absolute nightmare, but we're alive, barely. That removal spell was so bad for me. They are forced to block the Pack Beast here. I think I still need to hold 1/1/1 Goblin back. But I definitely send the lifelinking one in. This way I'm not dead to a haster unless it's a flying haster. Which there is a flying haster at common in this set. Okay, death touching blocker, but we have 3 more attackers than we need on board next turn. Well, not than we need, but 3 more attackers than they have blockers, is what I mean to say, which is lethal. Oh my god, we did it! We got a 7 winner, did we not? Please tell me that was the final boss, and I'm not going crazy. I think it was the final boss. It just felt a little anticlimactic because the last round our opponent just got mana screwed bad. That was the final boss! We finally trophied again. That makes up for a little bit of the very mediocre streak that we had. We got a great Boros aggro deck splashing into Jeskai. I'm really happy with how I drafted this draft. I think that's one of the really solid reasons to start deep into red early, is if you take all these like Molten Exhale style removal spells super early, even cards like Sunset Strike Master and Channel Dragonfire and Glacial Dragon Hunt. A lot of these cards that we took early were very flexible multi-purpose cards that would have been excellent in a teamer deck splashing into 4 or 5 colors, or in a Boros aggro deck like this. So very, very happy with how the early picks in this draft went. I think that's a really solid way to draft the format, and it panned out super well for us when aggressive decks looked a little more open, and we got to push towards that with all these Pack Beasts and the Kin Guards to make those Pack Beasts cheaper. It played super, super well. We got that nice Windcrag Siege to go wide and get a bunch of damage in. The Rediscover the Way was a pretty late pick for some good card advantage. It was like a pick 4, pick 5 in one of these packs. Super, super sweet draft. Really happy with the deck, and that is a great way to end off the Tarkir Dragonstorm format for now. So I'm going to be gone these next couple weeks, so it is an early variety draft season this time around, because I'm going to be out on vacation, my first time overseas in my life. I'm so excited for that, but I also need a break, an absolute much needed break, so I'm not recording or editing or doing anything related to work in my life at all. I'm just full on going to be on vacation. I'm going to be radio silent on the internet, so I've pre-recorded the next couple weeks of drafts for you all. So it's going to be variety drafts from last variety draft season, as well as any quick draft formats they brought back over these last couple months. So if you are interested in that, we've got a huge variety on the channel the coming weeks. There's going to be Murders at Karlov Manor, a little bit of Tarkir Dragonstorm, of course, Duskmourn, Kaladesh Remastered, Amonkhet Remastered, War of the Spark, like a little bit of everything. It's going to be a cool couple weeks on the channel. And then whenever I get back, I will be back a little bit before the launch of Final Fantasy on Arena, so we can play a little bit of whatever cube they're going to have up before Final Fantasy, or whatever flashback draft they'll have up before Final Fantasy. But it's pretty much variety time now, so that's going to do it for Tarkir Dragonstorm for me for now. And that's what's coming to the channel in the near future. If you're interested, obviously the biggest, most exciting thing coming in the near future is Final Fantasy, less than a month away now. Very, very pumped about that. I mean, it's only like a day or two less than a month away, but still. That is going to be an absolute banger, and I'm going to be going so deep into that format. Probably going to try to do some crazy, crazy stuff. We'll see. Definitely if they do an Arena Direct, I'm jamming the heck out of that. But as for today, as for the here and now, that's going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.